All right, here we are with Taylor Haynes. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Great job on the show. It was fun to go to the
Thank you.
opening. It looked like a
Thank you so
workout.
much.
That seemed like is it?
It is. It is. It is quite a heavy lift, but it's also so much fun. I've had a blast, and I'm continuing to have a blast going on this ride.
Nice. When did you ever start impersonating Elvis? Did you do it when you were little or
Uh, no, actually, this is my first kind of this is my first time stepping into Elvis's shoes. I'm kind of new to the Elvis Presley. Um, to his world. I mean, I've always been a fan, and there are elements of his movement that have always been a part of my just dance background. And then, actually, back at the Marriott a while back, I did a production of All Shook Up, which is a it's based off of Twelfth Night. It's a musical version of it, but it's all the canon of music is all Elvis music. And the character that I played, Chad, opposite Jesse Mueller's Natalie, is a cartoon character. It's not Elvis, but it's very heavily influenced by Elvis. So that was kind of my first time really stepping into getting to know his music. But again, I wasn't trying to do an Elvis. I wasn't trying to be Elvis because that's a totally different beast. And having played Rum Tum Tugger and Cats on Broadway, past incarnations of the role have been based off of Elvis or Mick Jagger. And for me, I didn't really work in that world. My influence was something very different. But when the creative team came to me back in the fall about this, and I read the script and started doing my research, that's when I was like, first of all, I became a fan and really got to know his world and him as the human, not as the king of rock.
Mhm.
But but then that's when I started really just diving in and trying to how I worked with this character because that's how I'm kind of looking at it is, I mean, yes, it's Elvis Presley, but I'm also playing this, character in a show. So it's very much my portrait of him. Is I wanted to work internally because that seemed the that's just kind of how I work, and it's been really fun just exploring him and his world.
Yeah. How do you get into the role every night? Do you watch Elvis or watch a YouTube video or do you listen to music?
Well, I like I said, I did. I mean, I've been working on him for about 7 months now, which is I just for the past couple of months, I've just been just digesting as much material as I can, whether it be film, whether it be his movies, whether it be, interview clips, books. I read about 5 different books. I just wanted to take in as much as I could. And then my acting coach, Ted Slabersky, who's based out of New York, then we started really just diving into just the text and the play
Mhm.
and just seeing what was given there. And um, as time was going on, stuff started settling a little more. And then once we started rehearsals, um, and Deidre Goodwin, our incredible director and choreographer, uh, her and I have been good friends for about 20 years. And I know that she was like, I want a real human. I don't want an impersonation. I want his essence. And so that's what we were really working for. And as far as now that we're in the run of the show, I kind of am now just trusting the work. There's so much that I'm still going to be adding in textures of just Elvis, the performer,
Mhm.
and that I feel like I'm going to be adding stuff in until we close because there's just so much to pull from mannerisms, facial tics, like little things that I just studied. But ultimately, um, I'm just kind of like. now we're at a place where there is a freedom in the work. I've been doing the work for about 7 months, and now I'm just kind of like running with it and going on the journey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're doing a great job, and it's a lot of
Thank you.
material to cover. So I understand what you're saying. It would just
Yeah.
be like a daunting task because the show itself
Oh,
covers
yeah.
a lot. I mean, it's childhood all the way up. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like performing in the round? Is that, how does that work?
I love it.
Do you?
I
Okay.
love it. I've had a relationship with the Marriott Theater for 20 years. I first did a show, a production of Footloose, exactly 20 years ago, and it was Ryan Nelson, who is our uh, you know, music supervisor. It was his first show, and Peter Blair, who's the executive producer, was his first show. So we go way back, and that was my first time. Actually, it wasn't my first time. I did the Frogs at Lincoln Center, and that was kind of, it's set up in the round in a way. But really, when I did Footloose here, that was my first time really getting to experience the round uh, universally. And I love it. There's such a freedom in it. Um, and there's an intimacy that I really just enjoy and find exciting. And it's just fun. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have been able to work in the round numerous times and also choreograph and create in the round. And it's always a fun challenge, but it's something that is just, an experience unlike anything else.
Yeah. I'm friends with Rob Lindley, who plays, the Colonel, and
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
you guys have really dramatic scenes. Like I told him after the show, it was like, I know that's not easy. How is that
Yeah.
whole scene and the whole part with, the real serious parts of the show?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Rob is such a warm, wonderful human, and him and I hit it off on day one. We have a lot of mutual friends in common, and it's interesting because there are certain relationships in the show that coming into the rehearsal process, I was really curious and excited about exploring because, the Colonel and Gladys Presley and Priscilla, and there's just these people that were huge, huge parts of his life. And the Colonel, I mean, the Colonel's a very controversial figure. And the research I was doing on him, and there's so many different points of view on him. And I think with Rob, I've said this to him, I feel like I'm in the World Series of acting because having him as the scene partner, I'm like, it's just the most exciting game of tennis because it's like we're so present. It's never going to be the same twice. What he's giving me is it's everything. And then off stage, because it's like it really he cuts you. And with his words and his intentions, and it's coming from a loving place, but I think it's really heavy. And so doing those scenes and doing the scenes with Amanda Walker, who plays Priscilla, are so exciting every night and also exhausting. But it helps when you have someone who is so present and is just listening and responding night after night, and then off stage they're just so genuine, and you know they're just awesome. They're great
Yeah.
people.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I like the Ann-Margret stuff. I just think it's kind of like she was so campy, you know?
Oh yes. Oh
It's so much
yes.
fun to watch, though. It's like she was just living her life. Like it's just so much
Yep.
fun. Hmm. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. It's funny because Viva Las Vegas, their chemistry is so, I mean, you can just see it just pops off the screen. And she, especially in that movie, her energy is wild. It's wild. Both of their energy is wild, but hers especially is just so dialed up on a totally different level. And it's so obvious that why she's the icon that she is, and why she also just had that impact on Elvis, you know?
Mhm, mhm.
See it.
Was there one thing that you've learned about Elvis that you just were really surprised by? Something that you discovered while you're doing all your research?
I think the thing for me that I didn't know about, because it's just learning about his humanity. He was a very loyal person. I didn't know, I wasn't too familiar with his relationship with his mother. And, they were so meshed in each other. And I think that ultimately, from what I gathered, was like, you know, his mother just had the biggest impact on his life. And also her death had, it just kind of left a hole, that I feel like he never recovered from. And there's something really kind of tragic about that and also kind of beautiful too. But I didn't, that was something to me that really stood out in my research was just um, learning about their relationship. But I think with Elvis, it's so just his legacy and his impact, still to this day is so, it just speaks volumes. But I think it was his humanity and just him as the person and that really diving in with that there's just I don't know, just told a different story and how he again his loyalty to his family, to his fans, um I didn't know about. So
Mhm. Um, so you haven't been to Graceland though yet? Have you been to Graceland?
oh yeah, no, I've been twice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I went back in 2000 when I was on tour, and then I went again back in 2008. Yeah, and so no, I've been two times.
Oh yeah, it's just such an experience, and I think it when you watch
Oh,
a
such an
show like
experience.
that, yeah, yeah, it really adds to it.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm. So I grew up in Tennessee, and I went to high
Okay.
school with a girl that actually preserves Elvis's costumes now. She went to the people and said they're getting dirty, dusty. Like she takes care of all of the costumes. And her mom
Oh,
is the official sketch artist for Elvis. So they're
no
always
kidding.
yeah, it's just
Wait,
crazy.
that's so cool. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, she's there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of rules with the costumes
Oh, sure.
and how the state works and everything, but
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
they
sure.
really
I'm sure
really
there
work
are.
at it. Yeah. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Loretta Harper. Okay,
All
so
right.
um, yeah, you are a chameleon. I mean, I was really looking at your Instagram, and I think that's such an important part to acting, and I think a lot of people just don't have it. But I think somehow you have a zillion different looks.
Thank you.
Have you ever heard of
I
that
receive
before?
that. Um, it's something that I feel like, I don't know, it's just what I feel like as an actor, for me at least, it's what I hope to accomplish, I don't know, each role was kind of different and I have a very active imagination and just want to I like a challenge of trying something new or different or, not being put in a box. Most importantly by myself. Because I think that's where the growth comes from. And so getting to be in somebody else's shoes that's different, um, is really exciting to me. And that's something that now at this phase of my life, that's what I'm seeking. I'm seeking stories that uh, aren't familiar to me, and characters that are totally different because I just like learning about that. And so, thank you for that. And I think especially with something like I've never played someone like, like a real person. And that with Elvis, that was when we were first talking about this, that was terrifying because that's such a massive presence. And but then I just kind of had to get over that and just dive in. And so it's been very exciting. And, hopefully there will be more opportunities like this that present similar challenges for me just to explore and grow.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite musical of all time?
Ooh,
Got like a number
all
one?
time.
It's, sometimes hard, but
I mean, I still, I I'm always going to go back to West Side Story because I just think that that is, I don't know, it just checks off everything for me.
Mhm.
That score, the opening, my God. I mean, and it's pretty perfect in my eyes. That, and then on the complete opposite side,
Mhm.
Hairspray. I think Hairspray is a perfect musical too, just with comedy, you know? Like I think it's just Marshall and Scott Whitman, what they did with that show. And I remember watching the original cast on like right after it opened. That's right when I moved to New York, and it is a memory that will stick with me forever. And then I was fortunate enough a couple years later to do that on Broadway, and it's just it's a show that to watch you and experience it from the audience is so much fun, and it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. And then to be in it, it's just as joyful. So I think that's pretty perfect as well.
Oh, that's a great one. And then the Fosse Vernon experience, how was that overall? It's got to be the
Ah, amazing.
coolest.
Amazing. My first professional job. So when I was in high school, I went to a summer program run by Anne Rankin called the Broadway Theater Project. And her influence on my life, that's when I was really exposed to Mr. Fosse's work. Um, and Ranking then changed the trajectory of my life. She gave me my first adult professional opportunity, which was the first national tour of Fosse. And and I went on tour for a year and just got to just be immersed in his language and his repertoire and working with dancers who, worked with him. And, it just had the biggest influence on my life, and it still does to this day. And I feel like when Fosse Verdon was first on the horizon, Andy Blankenbuehler, who is a mentor of mine. He started off as the choreographer on that show, and he had talked to me about it. And I was like, I will do anything to be on that show. I would love to be on that show. And the audition process was so fun. It was like, that's the thing with New York dance auditions. It's like, when you get down to the end, it's like the best of the best in the room, just cheering each other on. And then to have been given the chance to actually play a role on it, play Jerry Orbach, who was the original Billy Flynn, was so fun. And it was, we rehearsed for a couple of weeks, and Susie Meisner, who is a brilliant actor and choreographer, she staged the choreography, and Alex Lackmore did music, and Tommy Kail was the director, and all these like just like dream people to work with. But for me, getting to work and act opposite Michelle Williams and rehearse with her and be on set with her and Sam Rockwell was just, it was crazy. It was crazy. And it was awesome. And it's something I've just, that to me, that experience, being a part of that world with, those brilliant people is something I will cherish forever. It was awesome.
Michelle Williams, I was at a Critics' Choice event and it was my birthday and I was like, "Hey, Michelle, it's my birthday," and she talks in that Marilyn Monroe voice sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and she was like, "Well,
Yeah.
happy birthday, Jerry," and I was like, "Oh my God!" It just made me so happy. Like she is just a great person. I just really loved her.
She is. I will say with her, because like like she's so down to earth, and so like when, because it was just her and I rehearsing, and like, I mean, it's Michelle Williams, and she was just so, it sounds silly, but like normal and easy. And then like getting to know her, getting to work with her. And then when we were on set, like, I remember we were there's a shot we were like holding, they were setting up, doing a different setup, and her and I had to just hold this one position where we were like cheek to cheek, and we were like looking in the mirror, and she was like, and she stayed in Gwen Verdon's voice in between takes, like, we look just like them. Oh my God. And I was like, yes, and it's you. And I'm dying right now, but I'm trying not to like geek out, because she's just a very kind person, but also just one of the best actors of this generation. And watching her work, and it was the coolest thing, and she was so kind and just cool, and she's awesome.
Mhm. So I interviewed Van at the LGBT Film Festival. I just want to say, and
What?
yeah, this is a while ago, for a film we had.
Oh,
But I didn't remember. I had to look it up. Then I was like, oh my gosh, like I had such a great time with him. I remember, but yeah, did he come to the opening? Was he there the other night?
so Van is currently he's on General Hospital out in LA, so they're
Okay.
shooting. He hasn't been it because he had to shoot during opening. He's going to be coming later in the run. He was like, I can come for like your first preview. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, we got to like settle in.
Mhm.
But no, he, he'll be here. And I mean, he's had to sit down and watch a lot of Elvis with me, whether he liked it or not,
Yeah.
because he is a massive Ann-Margret fan, especially like his favorite piece of cinema. I feel like the culture that changed him was Ann-Margret Bye Bye Birdie. Just her singing Bye Bye Birdie. Like we have a piece of art that is just a still frame of that because he loves it so much. And no, he's that's odd. Did you interview him for Kiss Me Kill Me
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
that
that's what it
thriller you
was.
did? Wow.
Yeah. He
Wow.
came to Chicago
Yeah.
and yeah, it was face to face and everything. He was great.
Yes, I was with him when he
Oh,
came to that because it was like premiered here at some festival or something. I remember when we came. Yeah.
that's so cool. And you got
Wow.
20th anniversary next year. So I don't know.
Yes.
You better plan
Yes.
something big.
Yes. I know. You did your research. You did your research. Yeah. He'll yeah. It's wild. We celebrate it'll be 19 years in May and then 20 will be next year. So that's why it doesn't seem like that. Um, but yeah. Yeah, it's
Well,
awesome.
congrats to you both on that. Anything else you
Thank
got
you.
coming up after this, or is this, it right now?
I well, once this finishes, I have like a week off, and then I'm going to Lima, Peru, to direct and choreograph a show. Marco Zunino, who is a Broadway actor, but also a um, very acclaimed actor in South America. We are building a show for him that's going to be premiering. It opens July 18th at in Lima, and it's kind of it's like a one man show, but along the lines of something like Just in Time, where there's a big cast, but it's his story. And so now that this show is open, him and I are just going to be zooming all the time and meeting and working, and and that's the next gig. So
Yeah.
that premieres July in Lima.
Wow, that's amazing right there.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for taking time out and doing the Zoom with me
my
today.
pleasure.
And I was happy to get you in Windy City Times. I tracked you down. I was like, we got to get this guy promoting the show, and you deserve all the accolades. So I hope it just keeps going well, and we'll sell some tickets. So
Thank you, Jerry. This has been such a joy. Thank you so much.
have a great weekend. Okay. All right.
All right, you
I'll
too.
see you
Take
later.
it easy.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.